well. So my heels are in, my toes are out. And then it depends on, again, your anatomy and just where your body is. And if you have a pillow, that's always nice, or a blanket to place on that chair as we take our hands forward and our forehead comes to rest on blanket, pillow, chair top. As you do this, you'll probably feel immediately a release in your lower spine. That's part of this process for Peaceful Warrior, sometimes called Child's Pose. You can have your feet again just flat and planted outward. That feels good and fine and stable, just that connection to the earth energy there. You may, as you lay here forward in this prostrate position, be able to push your chair back a bit as your tailbone desires more length. Okay, the tailbone and that whole spine, they want to have a little more length in this forward movement here that we're in. And we're going to breathe, relax. Arms are just relaxed on the chair. Feeling my belly expanding into my inner thighs there. Not having a lot of pressure on our neck, all right? So making sure that our hips, our feet, and our arms are taking the weight. And even though we have our forehead there, we're not like wading into our head so that that comes into the neck area. We want to just really be relaxed there. And the neck nice and long. And then as we're here, just take and press into your left foot and move your hip, and then press into the right foot a bit and move your hip. So we're just taking the hips left and right. Okay. It's just a real subtle movement here. You're still seated, back of your thighs, but the hips are just doing a little bit of a little salsa move here. A little shaking of back and forth movements. Let's take a few more really slow deep breaths here. We've got our spine really nicely elongated. And then coming to stillness with our hips. Keeping the right arm on the chair. Let your left hand just fall down and find the back and the side of your left foot. So you're just going to kind of hold on there. And as you do, start to take your left shoulder forward just a bit and come on to your left side of your head. Okay, so you're going to look to the right. Your hand is down, wrapped around the back side of your left leg to the side, outside of that left leg. Going to come into a twist, and again, weight is mostly in our hips, feet, and the arm that's still on the chair, not in our neck. And just breathe here in this little twisting motion here, this little pretzel twisted motion. And then release and take your head back, centered, forehead on the ground. Left arm comes back on top of the chair. Take a breath. And then release that right arm. Just let it hang downward. And take it behind your right calf. Hold on to the outside of your right foot. So you're wrapped around the ankle there and the calf. And then if you'd like, take and rest the right side of your head, your right temple on the edge of the chair, the blanket, the pillow. Make sure it's something that's padded, you guys. I don't want you like crushing your head, a skull into a hard surface, okay? This should be just a nice little easy opening and twist for the lower spine. We're breathing. And then slowly taking head back center. And right hand comes on top of the chair. And then lifting your head off the chair. And coming into an angle here. My hands are on the side of the chair. My toes are out and my heels are in. And I'm going to curl into myself here, okay? Chin comes to chest. Curl, tuck, and round. And I'm going to press into my feet and lift myself off of the chair. Straighten my legs and just come forward a bit and come on to the high part of the ball of my feet, okay? So my back is flat. My arms are taking the weight of my body. I'm high on the balls of my feet. Heels are lifted. I'm going to squat down a little bit here. Exhale down into a little squat. Bring myself back up. And heels down. Find the chair. And bring my chin towards my chest. Exhale, releasing the back side of my neck. Okay, you're going to do that another few times here. So take your body forward, push into your feet, stand up straight first, bring your body weight forward, lift onto your balls of your feet and maybe look up a bit. And before we go any farther, just take your hips and do that little shifting left and right again. And again, this is really good weight bearing for our upper body here. And then you can stay high on the balls of your feet, or you can come back to your heels and squat down. Not quite to that chair. Pick yourself back up. Heels down, and let's come in and curl and tuck and round. Straighten your arms. Let your shoulders open through the back there. Feel that all the way down your spine. And then push into your feet. Let's go ahead and stand up, weighted with arms and feet in a nice, even, balanced way. And then bring my body weight forward more into my arms. Lift into the balls of my feet. Let me look up a bit here. And then take my hips. All right. Do that little hula. Left and right. Hula or salsa or cumbia, cha-cha, or whatever. Moving those hips. And then staying high in the balls of the feet or come to your heels, but go ahead and squat down. Okay. So squatting, but we're supported with our arms on the chair, and then push back into the balls of your feet, and then heels down, seat down to seat, curl, tuck, round, my arms lengthen, my chin comes in. Do that one more time, bringing my body weight forward, pushing down into feet and hands, find balance and ease, and this may be all you want to do, right? Or maybe you go into the balls of your feet and look up, tailbone reaches up, arcing into your spine. And then come neutral, okay? And then take the hips. Now let's take the hips in a circle. Still in the balls of your feet, if that's comfortable. If not, come down to your heels and reverse that action of your hips. Good, and then staying centered, come on into a squat. Look up. Take yourself back. Straight legs, straight arms, heels down. Bring yourself back into the seat and curl in one more time. Straight arms, press down into the chair. feel that energy from open palms pressed into the seat of the chair all the way through your arms and into your shoulders. And then bring yourself up. And now we're going to bring the chair in a little bit closer to us, okay? Because I'm going to extend at one leg and bring it up. And I want to have it bent, okay? So that I've opened up my hip, open up my knee here, okay? So this is kind of like a half lotus position here. And I'm going to flex into that foot. And in doing that, I'm going to feel that all the way on the outside of my hip. Okay. I'm going to sit up straight and tall. My other foot is planted solidly on the ground. And I'm going to take my hands to the back of the chair. And I'm just going to bring myself forward if I want a little more in here. Okay. You might not want that. And you want to, again, be going at what your body is telling you, right? That yes, that feels good to come forward more, or no, it does not. If you want, you can let your chin drift to your chest and bow into that. Breathing here. This is kind of a pigeon pose because it's doing the same thing as if we were on the ground in a pigeon pose with our bellies downward on the mat. I'm going to bring myself up. And I'm going to take my foot flat to the chair. And I want to lean back a little bit. I'm going to hold on right underneath my thigh here. And I'm going to extend my leg out long. And I'm going to take some circles with that ankle. And I'm holding on here. If you have core strength and you'd like to experiment with that, you can take your arms outward. That is a lot, they'll tell you. So, but just an option, or maybe you want to take one arm out, then the other, and then just play with that. And you reverse that ankle rotation. Good. And I'm going to bring in my knee towards my chest and shoulder, and then extend it out. And bring it in. And extend it out. And in, either pointed or flexed. Good. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my foot back where it was before with my hip open and place that foot back down on the ground. Okay. And let's do the same with the other side. Lift that leg up. Find that connection that you want for an opening. The more you have kind of a parallel position of your shin to the back of the chair, the more you'll feel that. And you may not want that, okay? You might want to extend, have more of an angle there, all right? And then we're going to sit up straight and tall here, feeling that, opening up into that hip, flex into the foot, maybe just staying there or beginning to bring my body weight forward and hold on to the seat of the chair. And maybe bring my weight a little bit more forward and even bowing chin to chest if that feels right. And you have those chairs as far apart or close to you as needed for your anatomy and for your flexibility. Good, and then I'm bringing myself back up and taking my foot flat on that chair and holding underneath the thigh, picking that leg up and extending my leg long. I'm going to go ahead and take those circles again. All right, and here I am working the shin, the calf, working my thigh, especially if I take my hands off. I'm working thigh and in reverse that circle and my core, okay? But even holding I'm still working core because I'm not leaning back in the chair for support. I'm supporting myself. Okay. And then bend your knee. Bring it in. Take it out. And you can be doing this with your hand assisting, or you can take your hands out. More of a challenge. I think I'm doing that today. And either pointing or flexing. One more time. Hanging out there. Maybe one hand off, maybe the other off, maybe not. And then releasing foot back down. Have that open hip again. One more bit. And then we'll release that foot back down to the ground. Bring the chair in really close so they're both touching one another. And take your inner thighs and squeeze them into the chair. Okay, so we're going to squeeze here as if we're on one of those machines at the gym, and they have those padded things that you squeeze into, so that we're working the groin, the inside of the groin. So squeezing here, sitting up, squeezing as tight as you'd like to. If you want to add more, you can take your hands on the outside and squeeze some more. And again, I'm not sure what kind of chair you have, so if this is not comfortable, just take the chair away and place feet flat and work your arms and your legs. And now release. And let's go ahead and push the one chair away. And I'm going to turn towards you now. And if you guys have blocks, have those available. If you have a strap, have it available. It's not a have to, but it would be a tool to use here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and work into some sun salutations, okay, just to warm up the body. And this is where I'm going to have blocks next to my feet. Don't have to, okay, but that's where I'm going to place my blocks. So we're going to go ahead and lift up. Inhale. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Okay, then we're going to take our arms out, come into a quarter dive. So we're using our core strength here. And then we're going to forward fold. Hands come down onto the blocks. Maybe we take and we release our head down. And then come up halfway into a curved spine, like you're doing a cow pose. And then release down again. Only coming down as low as comfort allows for you, and pull in at your navel here. And then left hand stays down. Right one comes up. Open up. And exhale, right hand down onto the block or onto something, or holding on to your leg. Don't just dangle there. And open up in the other side. And bring that hand down. Push through your blocks. Come into a half lift. Look up. Exhale, release. Let your head come down, forward fold. And then taking arms out. Inhale, up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Hands come out, come onto that quarter way down. You're flying, arms reaching. And then exhale, release down. Hands on block or ground or feet. Let your head go. Come into that cow here. Exhale, release down again. Left hand stays on the block. Right hand comes up, or that left hand is grounded or holding onto something. You might feel a nice little pop or twist there. And pull in at your navel. Bring your right hand down. Left hand lifts. Looking, if you like, stretching through your center. And exhale, left hand down. Give yourself a forward fold. Let your head go. Inhale, a half lift into cow. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms spread out, pulling at the navel. Shift your body upward. Hands touch at top. Exhale, hands come through, center, through your heart. And we do that one more time. Arms out, come into quarter. Exhale, down. Inhale, half lift, heart forward. Exhale, release, head down. Pulling at the navel. Left hand stays down, right arm lifts. This is with breath, okay? Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left hand down. Curling on yourself. Inhale, half lift, cow. Exhale, curl and tuck and round. Arms come out, pulling at your navel. Bring yourself up all the way. Exhale, hands come down into your heart center. And then releasing hands to your chair. Okay. So we're going to do a couple twists, and then we're going to move into Warrior Two. And your Warrior Twos, I'm going to give you 4 options on that. And I'm going to do all 4. You can stay with, and we'll do it, so we're going to do it 4 times on each side. But you can stay in only one form of that, okay? But before we go into that, go ahead and open up right knee, right hip, right foot, all those right parts of the lower leg outward to the right side of your chair, and your left toes are facing me, mine facing you, and we're lining everything up. And before we even go into that twist, let's just go and bend into elbows and just shift our body left and right here a bit. Good. And now what you're going to do is hold on your right hand to the back of your chair, okay? So right leg is extended to the side. Right arm is to the back of the chair. My left hand comes to the outside of my head, on the left side there. And I'm going to take my elbow upward, come towards the back side of the chair, open up the side body there, and then bring myself up and take that elbow down. Bring my hip up too. So come maybe onto the ball of your foot there, trying to make a really tight contraction. Hip up, elbow down, then lift up and take yourself back. Open up that side body again. Come up and squeeze in. Bring your left hip towards your left elbow. Really squeeze in right there in the obliques and bring yourself up and open up. Pull in and over, come back up, and one more time down. And lift. And let's take your left hand off your head, take it to the back of the chair as well. And begin to take your torso that way. So you come into that twist. So it's like hands on the steering wheel, head forward, but your body is to the side and back there with your legs. And just take a look over your right shoulder there. Pressing down into your feet. And then coming on back around. And breathing here. We'll flip and do the other side, and then we'll move into the Warrior Twos, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and take myself around. And then we're going to do something called a lift off today, too, which is really going to work into our legs a lot. Okay, so here we are, nice and open, finding our good attitude, our good alignment, right? Knees and ankles. And I'm going to go ahead here, and I want to just shift my hands up and down again towards my hips as I take these little twists in and out from my waistline. And then coming back to center, left hand comes, grabs the back of the chair. Right hand comes to the side of my right head. And I'm going to bring my elbow up and squeeze into my left side towards the back of the chair. Okay, and then bring myself up and take my hip. And I want to bring my hip up a bit from the chair as my elbow reaches towards the hip. So really feeling a nice true squeeze there. And then bring yourself up and take yourself over. Elongating and squeezing, really bringing yourself up, maybe coming onto the ball of your right foot to squeeze in a little bit more there. Bring yourself up and over here. And one more squeeze. Come on down. Squeezing. And bringing yourself up and taking yourself over one more time. Open up that right side body. Bring yourself up. Hands come down. Take a couple breaths before we go into that next twist. Good. And then I'm going to take both hands to the back of that chair. Right? And then I want to start to take a look over that left shoulder. And as I do, I want to try to keep pushing out that front right leg. Mine's starting to go like this, all right? So if I keep strong there, keep nice pressure pushing down into my foot, it's not going to let my knee heel in, okay? So looking over, taking that nice twist, being really long in our spine. And then coming on back around slowly, okay? Slowly, you guys. All right, so we're gonna do some warrior twos and some reverse warriors and some triangles. And you can have blocks available if you like. I'm gonna show you 4 different ways on each side. So we'll be doing it 4 times on one side, 4 on the other, and you can go into any form you'd like. This, where we're seated right now, is your most basic warrior 2 position, okay, with our legs open. And then you just spread your arms up, okay? So here we are. And we're gonna breathe, and we're gonna lengthen. We're gonna sit up really strong and tall, deep down into our sits bones. And then we're taking our right hand to the back of the chair, letting the left hand come up and over, if you'd like, into this reversal of warrior 2. Maybe my heart tries to come up a little bit more direction of the sky. And then bringing myself up, inhale. Arms extend out long. And then bend into your elbow. Press it onto your thigh. Arm comes up and lengthen. You should feel that nicely from the waist all the way up. Open up your fingers wide here. Press down solidly on both feet, keeping knees open wide as well. And bringing yourself up. Inhale. All right, you can repeat that, or you can go into another level, and that's not necessarily harder or easier. That's just another way of doing it. Go ahead and take your knee down and come onto the ball of your foot. And I'm going to press my shin onto that block. Okay? So my knee and my hip are in alignment, and then my foot comes straight back. So this is the other way we're going to do it. Let's go ahead and extend our arms out long. And again, you can just go back to what we just did earlier. Nice and long here. And then back hand down. Let your front arm come up. Lifting and lengthening. Beautiful. And then come on back. And bending into your elbow on the left side. Let the right arm come up. You can also, if you have that block, you can also take the hand to the block, all right, and press down on the block. You have that second block available. You're really reaching up here, reaching through your heart space. Forearm on your thigh or hand on block, and then bringing yourself back up. Warrior two arms, warrior two gaze over those left fingers, and then taking our hands down. So repeating either one of those, or we're going to go into where this leg stays forward. We lift up a bit. We let that back leg come behind us and come down onto the flat part of the foot. So my toes are facing you. My leg is extended long now. So I'm getting a stretch in the back side of my leg. If that doesn't feel right, please do one of the other two, okay? And I'm going to keep that block forward because I'm going to also utilize that. But again, you don't need to. So feel the difference here. We're able to lengthen and straighten out that leg. Arms come up. Press out through all of your fingers. Looking over the left side here. Keeping a nice, straight, proud spine lifted up. Really good posture here. Pressing into my feet wherever they are. Letting my right hand come back to the seat of the chair, maybe the leg of the chair. And then I bring my left arm up and over if that feels right. And reversing. That reversal of the warrior two, I offer my heart, my throat, my belly, everything upward. And then bringing myself back up. And before I go into the triangle, I really make sure I'm in a good alignment here. And then I can take both arms and just release one down, one up, or bend your elbow and place your forearm on your thigh, okay? All of you have been doing this long enough that you know you've got all of these options. Some of you might have already taken this to standing and doing it standing rather than seated. Please be my guest. Do what is right for you. And then we're going to go ahead and bring ourselves back up. Good. One more time. This time, we're going to take ourselves, sorry, I'm going to move that out of my way. I'm going to take ourselves, if you want, out of the chair, okay? And, but the chair's real close, okay, because I'm going to be using it. And I'm going to keep my front leg, and in fact, I'm going to hold on to the seat of the chair. And I'm going to bend into that front leg, okay, and the knee and the ankle line up. I'm going to place that back foot way behind me, okay, where it would be if I'm doing a total standing warrior two. And then I'm just going to let my hamstring, back of my thigh, rest on the chair. And I've got to find where that's comfortable for you, okay? So I'm here, have a block available, and find my arms stretched out long. And so this is a really good thing to do for those of you that are practicing warrior two out of the chair and on the mats, because it really aligns you. Like right now, I'm really feeling this in my outer left hip because I'm really low, much lower than I would be if I were doing this standing, but it's building that muscle memory for me. I'm pushing back solidly into my back foot. Okay, so this takes more energy. Really taking any of these forms is great. I just wanted to stair step it for you today. And now I'm going to take this back hand back along that back leg or onto the chair, lifting my left arm up, looking, feeling all that openness on the left side of the body, on the front side of my body, and then bringing myself back. And taking myself down into this bent leg triangle pose. Arm is up, Right arm up, maybe over, left arm either bent and forearm on your thigh or hand on block. But don't just be hanging there. I want you to be supported somewhere. You can even have your hand on the chair or maybe attached to your leg, but I'd rather it be really, really, really supported there, okay? Lifting your right arm up, holding it at your navel point. Bring yourself up, straight, arms out. Okay. And breathe. And exhale, hands down. And wherever you're at, whichever you chose to do, find yourself with wide knees before we switch to the other side. Okay, really wide knees here. Really wide feet, angled out, hands on the front of your chair, okay? And all I'm gonna do here, pushing down on the front of my chair, I'm gonna lift and straighten my legs, okay? And then I'm gonna come back down. My hips are towards the back of the chair. And then I'm gonna press myself up. So my back is flat. I'm in a half lift, basically. And then I'm gonna bend into my knees. Hold on and let my heart come up. Oh yeah, that feels good. And then come up straight and curl and tuck and round. Pull on that front of the chair so that it helps me to really compress forward. Come back into sitting up straight, push down in the chair, push down into my feet, lift up and let me take that cow now. Cow now, how now, brown cow. Looking up and then going ahead, pushing down into the chair and curl and tuck and round here. Just doing a little variety. And then go ahead, bend into your legs. Hold on to the chair. Bring your heart forward. Oh yeah, shoulders back. And then pulling yourself down, pressing down into the seat of the chair, curl and tuck and round. And then come back up and let's lift up one more time. Push into your feet, straight legs. And let's arc in the spine, look up. And let's curl and tuck and round. And then bend your knees. Good. So we're a little bit in and out of the chair today. And again, don't take it if it doesn't feel right for you. Okay. So we're going to go back and we're going to do 4 times different styles of Warrior Two in the opposite direction. Okay, so find yourself in that first position with really wide knees, wide hips. My right foot now is facing away from the right side of the chair, and my right upper thigh is on that, and my left foot is pointing towards you. My arms extend out. Okay, into this first phase of Warrior Two. Strong arms, open up the fingers wide, and then left hand comes back to the chair, right arm comes up straight, and maybe over. Find where your lengthening is calling you today. And inhale, lifting. Finding yourself stretching out beautifully from one side to the other. And then bend into your elbow. Place your forearm on your thigh, and then let your left arm come up. Nice and high here. As you ground down into your thigh with your forearm, you can feel yourself lifting higher on that left side. If you want, you can come over and make that angle, that side angle there. And then inhale, lift. And bring yourself up slowly back into that beautiful formation of Warrior Two. And exhale, your hands down. Repeat that, okay? Or you take that front leg and toes come back. You're back on the ball of that back foot, and maybe taking a bit of something, a book, a block, or just letting your your leg be there and supported with the ball of your foot. I'm using that block there to support me. And one knee is downward, foot back, other knee is forward, and the shin downward. Okay. I'm going to open up, spread my wings. This makes it a little more difficult to pull that back leg arm back because in this position, our hips are more forward than they were before. So that's all right. Still being nice and proud in a warrior twos here. And a hand comes behind you, lift up. Inhale, fingers reaching towards the sky. Breathing. Nice. Push down with one hand, lift with the other. Arms come up. Bend into the elbow or take your hand down into a block at any height. Other arm reaches up. Breathing here, just feeling that nice opening. Not any rush here at all. So you really want to get all we can out of that stretch. If you like, take your left bicep by your left ear. Come into that nice side angle. And rising up, pulling on your navel there. Bring all your energy in the core when we're coming up and down from our different positions. Breathe, inhale. And exhale. Hands come down. Repeating either one of those or taking this front leg behind, coming onto the ball of the foot. Okay. Front leg stays where it is, lengthening out a little bit there and releasing my arms. Coming outward here. One arm forward, the other arm back. And taking my left hand down to the leg of the chair maybe now, or to the back of that lengthened leg behind me, and bring my right arm up. And with that comes my heart. With that opens up my throat. And bring yourself back. Arms spread out long. And bend into your right elbow. Place your right forearm on your thigh or on hand on block. And come on up here. If you're pushing in to the ball of that back foot, you should feel a real good opening right here in that left front hip flexor. And if I like, I can again extend that arm long and really feel that length. Good. Lengthening up. Pulling at my navel as I transition back from that triangle pose into warrior two. And exhale, hands down. All right, the next one is the more of the not correct form, but more of the standing regular form for the warrior two by getting my front knee bent so that the knee and the ankle are on top of one another. Really taking that back foot behind me, placing the foot down now instead of on the ball of that foot, toes towards you. And I can take that chair, move it underneath me, and set myself down, okay? Keeping the foot planted down like that, or if that's a lot, you know, just take it back to your, the ball of the foot. And also, I'm noticing that my front foot, if I'm here in this position, doesn't quite touch the ground. So I might use a block underneath it to help with that. Okay. If that gives me the right alignment. Now, let me check that out. And that feels pretty good for me. I'm going to have the other block available. Put my hand on. And let's go ahead and open up. So this, again, really gives us that sense of what it would feel like to be without that chair and really low in our warrior two. Arms reach out really wide here. Your arms are strengthening by holding them up in these different positions for warrior two, and by putting that energy muscle to bone by opening up fingers wide. And then take your back hand down that back leg or wrap it around your waist and bring your right hand up. Reversing the warrior two. I like to think of it as exalting into that warrior two. And the lifting of my heart and the releasing and the receiving. And then coming back into warrior two, take a breath or two here. And then get ready to come forward and tick-tock down into your triangle pose. Or again, you bent your front arm and you place that forearm on your thigh. If you've stayed in that first stage or step all this time, you're still getting so much out of this by your lengthening of your side body. Both sides. Okay, pulling at the navel. Come on up. I just wanted to make sure you could see all four ways so that when we're doing this, I want you guys to become more and more comfortable. I'm going to go ahead and bring my feet in, legs forward, and feel that openness in our hips now from all of that warrior two work, right? I don't think we've ever done that many warrior twos before. Have enough room in front of you because we're going to do what they call lift off, okay? Be very close to the edge of your chair, okay? Know where it is though. And we're going to just take our hands here, crossing here, or crossing like this, but somehow where our hands are connected to our arm, because we're going to come up and down from that chair 21 times. That's just a number, so yours might be 10 times, okay? But we want to work into warming up the legs, all right? So here I am, and we're also using, right, our core and all of our muscles in our legs to get us up and bring us back down without using our hands, okay? So either I Dream a Genie or this, something, okay? Go ahead and bring yourself up and take yourself down. That's 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. And as you're doing it, do you feel like your arms are helping you do it? And that's okay, because then we're using the strength of our arms as well. I think that's 8, and 9, and 10, and 11. And as we go, and 12, we might be feeling that our arms are going to help us lift because our legs are getting tired. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Raise your arms up, lift off here, and just be out of the chair for a moment into this beautiful expression of upward salute. And exhale, take your hands into bent elbows and let your body come forward. Your pelvic area, your belly, your heart, your throat open. And then we lift. Take hands here and let's come into our chair. Slowly finding our chair here. And finding our breath in case your breath kind of got lost a bit in that. And then taking your legs a little bit apart here. And we're going to do a little breath work and movement. So I'm going to slide down the inner part of my left leg. My right arm comes up. I inhale and bring myself up. Actually, this will be my inhale in the center. And then I'm going to exhale down. Oh, yeah. And inhale it. Keep going. Doing a lot of work for the waistline today, for the sides of our body. Did a lot of stretching for our legs too earlier. We'll do a little bit more here at the end. Let's do one more set here, you guys. Kind of getting lost in the rhythm of your own breath. And coming up nice and strong and straight and tall. Arms rise up. Exhale, right under left. Coming into eagle arms. But instead of going up and down, we're going to take those eagle arms over to the right. Keep feet flat, okay? Stretching over, opening up that especially left shoulder blade there. Look over my right shoulder, and I'm going to feel that in my neck as well. And then slowly let my head come back forward, and then bring my arms forward, and then take my arms over to the left, and let myself look over my left shoulder, pressing down into my feet, keeping my knees apart, and bring myself head first, and then body. Exhale, release, oof, and fly up, and fly down. Let's do a few of those just to loosen up here. Fly up and fly down. Up. This time I'm going to take my left arm under my right. I'm going to find my eagle arms. I'm going to lift up, and I want to take my arms to the right and my gaze to the right. And here I'm going to go ahead and lift my elbows up and pull them down. Lift them up and pull them down. Come back to center. Let my head come back. Let my body come back. And now let my arms come over to the left. Still facing forward. Pressing down with my feet. And now my head, my gaze will join. Now come back. Feel that again in the waistline. Arms lift up and bring them down. Lift up and down. One more time, rising up. And bring them down. Back to center. Turn your head. Turn your arms. And release. Whew. Flutter. These Garasanas, these eagle poses are really good. I've said before, for the joints of our body. And again, we want to be really mobile with those joints. But also, it's really good for our immune system, our lymphatic system, because when we get into that kind of bind, we're squeezing in on our lymph nodes, and that helps that fluid come out and through our bodies. Okay. All right, and then just bring your feet back so that we find ourselves in a mountain pose here. Don't even know if we've been in mountain pose yet today. And just as we sit here, think about your nose making just some little circles, okay? So just close your eyes. Take little circles with your nose. As you do, let your shoulders melt down. And reverse those little circles. And just maybe an inch in diameter, those circles. Just kind of massaging the cerebral fluid and moving it around just a bit. Coming to stillness, coming to breath, coming inside yourself. Finding yourself drawing that breath downward into your bellies. As you draw it downward, it also comes outward, belly's expanding. As you exhale, you're releasing the air upward and inward. So the flow of our breath is a duality. Two things that seem to be opposite, but work together. Without one, we do not have the other. So, thank you for coming to our new chair class here on Fridays. Appreciate you guys being here. The Friday class will be, maybe with a couple chairs and maybe kind of up and down in the chair a bit, maybe using the chair some as a balance tool, but always offering you the options of just to stay seated in your chair as well. Okay? So from my heart to you guys, thank you very much. Namaste. And namaste. And I hope you stay coming around for more classes. As you say yesterday in our functional fitness, how